podcast. And as you can tell, Mr. Dova Gottlieb's crushed jersey. The HSL Fall Ball Tournament's officially underway, and we, of course, have the pleasure of having the HSL Men's Softball Commissioner, Tuvia Blisco, on the podcast as well. We're going to recap the HSL Fall Ball Tourney Week 1. Of course, we had an amazing draft. We had amazing hype, amazing build-up, and amazing games we'll get into right now, along with a couple of other topics as well.
Well, actually, first I want to ask Tuvia, so what was it like? We had this rules committee in the summer, but really Tuvia was officially the chairman of the committee, the commissioner. Like, I think the roles are still kind of fluid. Everything is getting figured out. We realized that we need a more expansive governing body, but I think Tuvia was the point person for a lot of stuff in the summer. So I'm just curious how that was.
It was interesting. There was a lot of minutia that came up. Like basically this season was started very quickly, and a lot of things were rushed, and we tried to do our best, but there are issues that are going to come up. That's bound to happen. I think we pretty much were able to cover most things that most people were happy with. Yes, we had a playoff mix-up, which was really unfortunate. But I think for the most part, most people, from what I've heard, were pretty happy with how it was handled.
Were you happy?
Was I happy? I think that may be a private discussion that we need to have. But there are definitely things that I think we could do better. And so we'll work on that.
And by the way,
so will you do it again?
Things that we will do better. Like, this all came about in literally days. It's not, people say, oh, days, literally days from when we took over the league to when it started. We literally had days. It was crazy. It was insane. And to have this whole committee put together with Tuvia, taking the lead on it and developing a whole new rule book and everything within days is nearly impossible. And the fact that we even, made it somewhat possible is a tremendous miracle, and really goes to show the amount of work that Tuvia and everyone on the committee and everyone even around the committee, advisors, etc., put into making this work. And it shows how passionate they are about making this work and wanting to continue to grow this.
So the big question on everybody's mind is if you're going to do it again next year, Tuvia.
I do it again. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens as the season comes closer.
What should we start asking you? March,
we'll see how February. Fall ball and basketball work out, and then we'll go from there.
But you're not getting any. You're not in those two roles. In those two leagues, I don't think you're the recipient of any complaints, right? You don't have.
Not yet. We'll see what happens.
Tuvia always ends up being the recipient of complaints somehow.
I noticed you didn't join the basketball rules committee. I was thinking of asking you, but
I think that would be
I wisely chose not to. Yeah, Jeremy's actually doing a good job. He's active in that group. The problem is with softball, me and Avi know. There's an old idea with learning Gemara, a lamdin is somebody who knows what they know and knows what they don't know. It's not somebody who knows everything. With softball, there's nothing you're going to get by me and Avi that we never heard of. We know the culture. We know there might be specific rules or specific ideas that we don't have right, but you're not going to come up with something that we don't know is a potential issue or something to think about. With basketball, we don't even know. We don't know the olive from the bays in a lot of ways. So it's just, we're sort of flying blind. So we got 4 people together to start developing things, but I think it's going to take a few more seasons until we have a good sense of rules that really work and a culture that really works.
Not to get
sidetracked. Sure. Also, you're going with softball. You're going from a different product, which had a lot of archaic rules that a lot of people had a lot of issues with. So deciding which ones to keep, what to keep, when, what to get rid of, that in itself was a whole.
Also, softball, we sort of took over a built-in community in a sense. We knew a lot of the guys, personally, personal good friends. Basketball, we know some of the guys, but most of them are, new teams, new faces, new players. Much harder to build what we built in softball. Like you said, hopefully over a couple of years we develop those relationships. But for now, it's more difficult. It's very, very new. It's only our 3rd season, and this season we have 4 or 5 new teams alone out of the 14 teams. 30% of them are new, so I think it'll take a little bit of time.
No, as long as you keep bringing in talent, it'll take off.
Yes,
my team.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get to week 1 of the fall ball tourney. I'm going to start, and I'm also going to give a little plug. First of all, Crush Trivia, Jake Byrne, another Jake Byrne initiative. The first game is Saturday night. He's going to announce it soon when the first game is. I don't know if people remember, like 5-6 years ago, there's something called Trivia HQ, and like the same time at a certain part of the week, you went to your phone and you'd answer these trivia questions, and there'd be like some massive prize if you got all 10 right. He's trying to recreate that on WhatsApp. Do you remember that, Tuvia?
I do. I remember doing those, a couple of those.
Okay, yeah. So this is Jake Byrne's latest idea. He's never just happy with addictive ads, which, I try to help him with his own personal happiness, but it's something he struggles with. He's very ambitious, kind of like Avi. So, his new initiative is Crush Trivia. I want everybody to join the Crush Trivia community. I don't know who has, but I'm also on Crush Trivia, the team. And we had a crushing loss on Monday night that I posted in my team chat Tuesday morning. I am crying from the loss last night, and people told me to get a grip on reality, which was helpful. But I still feel kind of crushed. Avi, why don't you walk us through the game and tell us what you thought?
To be honest, I coming in, I knew Crush wouldn't hit the ball. You guys don't have a good hitting team. You have a couple of really good players. You guys in the field are solid. Jake's a really good pitcher. I think he's one of the most underrated pitchers there is. He was coming in half awake because of his championship the night before. But you guys
a tournament Sunday.
Yeah, you guys were in a spot to win the game. You guys.
But Yankee Hershkowitz, pitched the last 4 innings.
Yeah. Jojo Levy had Jojo and Soli did not hit well all night. Jojo had a really big hit in the last inning, the bottom of the 6th, to put you guys up by 2. And that's why I was so crushing. You guys had such a dramatic comeback. I think you were down, 1-0. Scored 3 in the bottom of the 6th, up 3-1. And in the top of the 7th, all blank broke loose. It was a very unfortunate inning, a controversial call at second base, which I think Dom got right after replay. But then the guy went ahead and threw it away at first, and the 2 runs scored, a runner advanced. They ended up getting that 3rd run home, and then you guys didn't do anything in the bottom of the 7th. A very back and forth game. Credit to Younger and Wach. A win's a win. I don't think they played too great either. I think both teams played really, really poorly. But ultimately, Crush had the 2-run lead.
Really poorly?
Really, really poorly. Yes. I can explain. You guys didn't hit.
Yeah.
There was no hitting, and you guys threw the ball away when it counted. That's really poorly in my mind. You guys threw the ball away like you were 4th graders. Also, bad decision making. Also, even the inning before, there's a bad decision making when the guy tried going to second for the force and he beat him out by 3 feet. This bad decision making. It didn't look like a crisp game to me. It was a low scoring game, which means they're happy.
My objection is, I would say there were 2 or 3.
Object.
No. 2 or 3 missed cues. I don't think is really poor
in the big
in
spot.
An A-League. Oh, okay. So you're saying if it happens in a big spot, it's really, really poor.
There's also no hitting. It was no hitting. There weren't the most.
There are plenty of games. There are plenty of games in the league that are 2-1, 3-2.
Yeah, I guess
putting up 3 runs isn't nothing.
It was a very the way the game went.
It was not. I think you're describing the game. You're describing it as a sloppy game. It was not a sloppy game. There were 2 unfortunate errors in a big spot. That's how I would put it.
Correct.
That's how I would put it. I would say it was more of a choke job.
Everyone could agree it was a very disappointing game for Crush, and I think who'd you guys play against? Was it Prime Cuts?
Yeah, Prime Cuts.
And Prime Cuts walked away thinking they got away with one. Good for them. Listen, they played, in my opinion, the worst team in the tournament, and they won. They got what they needed to get a win. They got a win. So good for them. Bad for you guys, but it's crushing because you guys had it in the bag, up 2 with 3 outs to go. You'll take it any day, every day with Yankee. Well, Yankee was throwing really, really well. His fastball. I have never seen him throw a fastball like that before.
So, I didn't know he could throw that hard. He was throwing much harder than Cass was. I was catching both. I caught both of them. Yeah, it actually made me think. I think Cass is much better location though.
Yes. But Yankee was hitting his fastball last night. He was on. Have any thoughts on the game before we move on?
On their game, I saw my game was right after this. I saw the last inning and a half of your game. So I guess the defensive positioning for Crush in that last inning, forget about the play, was also, I think, something they need to learn. Like, Reinhardt, it was a shot, but you had nowhere near anyone near to get that ball.
You had an experienced right fielder, Yitzi Kessler. I told him to move back. It's hard when you're on the bench. When you're catcher, you feel like more in control. But if Yitzi was backed up against the wall, you think he can get it?
Yeah, of
I don't know
course
if he catches it, but it's not.
Well, if he's against,
It's not impossible.
If he gets the wall, I think he catches. I mean,
It's hard to position somebody against the wall, though.
Especially in North Windermere 2, which again is 20 feet further. If that was in 1, that's a home run.
Right.
Right. We could say the same thing about Matt's shot off Steve early in our game also. But
I didn't see that. I missed that shot. Oh, Matt drove it deep to right field. I wasn't there.
Yeah, we had the bases loaded in the second. It was 2 out 3. I had 3 in off Steve, and Matt hit a line shot. It probably hit the top of the wall in North Woodmere 1, and they were playing on the wall, and they caught it probably 5 feet before the wall.
Wow. If it was 5 feet before the wall, it probably goes out. I was in the other field for that. All right, let's move on to the next game, shall we?
Wait. I wanted to hear what you said about the defensive positioning.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So I'm saying we spoke about it in our game also. When it comes down to it, you have a lot of guys playing new. Well, you guys actually played together already, but
some of us, yeah.
A lot of these teams, it's a big learning curve of where you want guys playing and the hitters that are coming up and how you want to pitch them. And when you have a lefty hitter with as much power as Reinhardt has in the top of the 7th, you sort of have to play a no doubles defense at that point, like to give him the opportunity to go. Basically, you call it triple homer, whatever it is. He ends up scoring on the play. It just. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit unfortunate on your end in terms of how you guys positioned yourself.
Yeah, I agree with you. I guess Yitzi didn't know him. You have about as an experienced right fielder as you're going to get out there. Reinhardt was certainly happy because I threw shade at him in the last podcast. It's funny. He's like, you can't throw shade at me right before you play me. I said he was, for his team, I said his dollar amount was too high because I said I view his hitting as a one-trick pony. And if you pitch him high and tight, it's hard for him to adjust. But he did hit one. He did get a base hit towards the other side. So he was pretty fired up towards me, as fired up as I've ever seen him, which was pretty funny. All right, Avi, we can move on to the next matchup.
All right, next matchup, we had Holy Schnitzel versus Extreme Vent Cleaning. Now, let me tell you something about Holy Schnitzel. Avi Nenner wasn't there. It was a good piece. I totally missed on their outfield. Their outfield, dude, it is insane. It is not normal. With Chaim Zegelbaum there, Adam Bromberg, and Jakey Goldenberg, they fly. That outfield is like they don't have to even think about putting 4 outfielders. Even if you have Matt Rosenberg up, I wouldn't put 4 outfielders.
Let me look at
their outfield. It's a beauty to see, and they were perfect out there. They were the MVP of their team, and they faced a really
the MVP of their team? The outfield, you mean?
The outfield, and they faced an awesome team also in Extreme Vent Cleaning. Koenig pitched a gem, an absolute gem. He got burnt by a late error by his, I think, shortstop. Maybe.
Yeah, I heard Sabo made a bunch of errors.
Yeah, didn't have such a great game. So he's still going to adjust to the big leagues. We're gonna win a championship Sunday, and then he'll be more confident going in.
Where does Dovey Geisels play? I see he's on that team.
So normally he plays third base. I think he played a lot of. I'm not sure if he played third base or second base. For some reason, I'm thinking third. But typically in Rokach's third, you have Geisels at third and Rokach at short. It's a phenomenal, and Eli Sabo at second. Eli got moved to short because Rokach wasn't there. Koenig pitched a great game. Ultimately, they got burnt by a late error. A very low scoring game. Not a lot of hits.
So is that very poorly? Did they play very poorly? They didn't. They scored 1 run and they made an error in a key spot.
Yes, their infield played really poorly. Yes,
the whole team played very poorly.
No, their outfield played amazing. Koenig's team. Yeah, they made a bunch of errors. It was a sloppy game on their end. Yes, it was.
Poor.
Very sloppy. Very sloppy. And they didn't hit much. Both teams didn't hit much though.
Yeah, who played poorly?
Who pitched? Ari Slamuk. Great performance. Unbelievable performance. Credit to Ari. Trying to show the big boys that he's not just a guy who throws it over the middle, but he actually knows what he's doing out there, and he did a good job of showing that. He faced a tough line. A couple. Yago Sabo was there playing first base. They had a good team. They had a very good team. They had Devin Manella is a very good player.
Great player.
Moshe Abramson. Koenig actually batted 5. Which is what you're going to get a lot in these tournaments. These guys are typically, when they play on their all-star teams, they're batting 9 or 10, or not even batting. They might be batting 5 or 6 because they're playing on a team with Aaron Ehrlich, also very strong hitting team. And Slamuk did a great job holding them down. It was a close game. Ultimately, it came down to an error at the end, and that's how the game was decided. Holy Schnitzel, the dub over Extreme Vent Cleaning.
Yehuda Koenig was he had a really good time. I really enjoyed it. I spoke to him on the phone for like 10 minutes yesterday, and I've never spoken to him on the phone before. I texted him and I heard he pitched a good game. He's like, "Oh, can you talk?" So we ended up schmoozing for a while. You have to remember, people over 50 aren't used to long text conversations. They like to talk. Maybe Pollen, actually. Pollen's like a young texter. Glenn's okay. I think Glenn would be better on the phone.
Yeah, Glenn's not a WhatsApp guy. Whenever I put anything on any of our communities or chats, Glenn has a question, he'll text me. He won't never WhatsApp me ever.
Oh yeah, he texts also. Yeah, always text. Who are the other senior citizens we have in the draft? We got Koenig, Steve, Glenn.
Senior citizens.
My wife's nearby.
Craig,
she said you.
Craig.
And my wife said me.
Craig Stroh.
Craig's what, 45? Let's talk about over 50.
Oh, okay.
How old's Joel Slansky? He's like 45?
Also that range, yeah.
Tell me, 47.
Tell me why are you smiling?
Why are you smirking, Tuvia?
There's just a lot going on. No, I think you just have to watch all these movies that
they keep referencing.
And you'll be okay.
That's funny. All right, let's move on to the next one, Avi.
All right. Well, we have Gordon Companies and Twillery. This game I didn't get much of this game content-wise. I didn't get much of this game. However, this was a one-sided matchup. Gordon Companies won it pretty easily, 6-1 over Menachem Big League Dickers Twillery. I'm hearing an echo now. Why am I getting an echo?
Yeah, something just happened with my audio. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me go out and come back. Wait, hold on 1 second. That's weird. You hearing an echo still?
Yeah, I am.
My Bluetooth just stopped working, and then.
Oh, you have headphones?
Now I'm gonna go out and come back in.
All right, me and Tuvia will chill. Hi, Tuvia.
Okay.
What's happening? I'm trying to pull up my phone froze also at the same time, actually, so I'm trying to pull up the rosters. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let's continue here without David for a second. And now David's back.
You still hear an echo, Avi?
Do I hear an echo? Do I hear an echo? No echo. Twillery, Gordon Companies. Okay, let's get into it. So this game was a one-sided game. Gordon Companies, Benji Horowitz, by the way, acted like he had no clue what he was doing the whole night. I think he was bluffing. I think it was all bluff. It had to be all bluff. They look absolutely perfect out there. They look fluid. They knew what they were doing. They had great chemistry. Got a celebrity in the game, Mendy Warsh. Noah Aaron shutting up all the haters. Took a lot of hate for his price. They thought he went for too much. Had a great game both in the field and at the plate. Izzo showed up. Ellie Turk also, by the way, one of our top 5 towns coaches, great athlete in the outfield. Did go for a decent amount of money. So,
did he own it? Did he own a pair of cleats?
He did. I think so. Why?
Because when they drafted him, Menachem Dicker and Ezzy, Yaakov Weiss, Yaakov Weiss. They were like, anybody know if this guy's ever played softball before?
No, he has. He
went for $19 because they had $19 left. He didn't go for $19 because...
No, he was bidded for a little bit.
Oh, yeah? So people knew of him?
No, I just said that he's a very athletic guy who I think could be good.
Avi was everyone's hype machine at the draft. He changed the equation a lot.
Well, I know his brother Moshe, and he's a year older than me. He's a good friend of mine. He's freakishly athletic. He's good at whatever he does in sports. So I assume his brother's not too far from
They
that.
have a good team. They're also like a lot of them played with each other already. So there's less of that curve of learning.
Right. Who's playing with each other over there?
I'm saying Benji and my brother play Sunday morning together. Benji and Izzo play the night league together. Like Ross and Sam play and Mikey play at nights together. So
by the way, Shlomo Ross wasn't there, and they still won pretty handily. Shmuel Adelson's a great player. He had a good game. Sam.
What was the final score?
6-1. I think it was 6-1. It was 6-1.
And that was against which team?
So they played Big League Dickers, Twillery. Now again, Twillery. I'll tell you, they were missing. I think Chaskiewicz wasn't there.
Did Asaf pitch?
Asaf pitched.
So they beat up on Assad.
They beat up on a little. There were a lot.
They should have brought down Offman. That was a mistake.
Yeah, they brought down Melech Sperling though, play shortstop. Didn't help much.
Sperling plays shortstop?
For Tuileries, he did.
Well, maybe that's why it didn't help. He's not a shortstop. Sorry, I love Elimelech Sperling. We're actually going to make a commercial. You know the old "I want to be like Mike" commercials, Michael Jordan. You know about that, Tuvia?
Yeah.
So we're gonna. Do you know Sperling?
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy. He's got 2 different social media accounts.
He's a 2-time sponsor for HSL.
We're gonna make a commercial called "I Want to Be Like Milech" about Elimelech Sperling.
That'd be amazing.
And I actually ran into him at the Mets game yesterday. It was very exciting.
By the way, speaking of Sperling playing for Tuileries, Dave, why don't you show us the Tuileries logo, which is on every single one of our jerseys for the Tuileries tournament?
This is actually not for Tuileries; it's for Tuvia.
Oh, thank you. I knew I made an impression.
It's a gorgeous logo.
I also have one tattooed on my chest.
Not shocked.
All right. Well, listen. So again,
so you're saying, Avi, so you were unimpressed with Tuileries?
Unimpressed. Menachem Dicker will say he's missing a couple of guys. Who was Chesky? I'm not sure who else, but he got.
How did Jack Ross do?
Jack Ross wasn't there.
$71 missing. It's a lot of dollars missing.
How much would Sperling have gone for?
It's a good question.
I don't think that much. There's a clear gap there. You're not talking about Sperling from 5 years ago anymore.
Oh boy. Tell us about Sperling from 5 years ago.
Sorry?
Tell us about Sperling from 5 years ago.
No, I'm saying he was a much better player.
Yeah.
Well, we want to go back 15 years. We can talk about Sperling and Ray, and that's LML Sperling.
Yeah. You know that he was the talk of the Catskills 15 years ago. I don't know if you know that, Tuvia.
I did not.
Now he's just the talk of all the walking groups.
The walking groups, the women's walking groups in the Catskills, they all talk about Elimelech Sperling.
And Extreme Vent Cleaning. And Sperling Productions.
They have a lot to talk about. They have a lot of material. All right, let's go on.
Our last game of the night, we had, this is a fun one. We had
a big game.
Yeah, we had Tuvia's Wall Street Grill versus Jonas and Lowenger's Bravo Kosher Pizza. A wacky game. It looked like it would be a blowout off the bat.
Were there any politics surrounding the game beforehand?
Not at all. It was the cleanest of games. We had no issues going in. To be honest, I don't care that they brought down Zin. Like I play against the best players all the time. I want that competition. I just find it like a little disingenuous to run an auction league and then bring down a guy who probably would have gone for his second highest price point of a position player. And he probably won the game for them. Like without them, I'm pretty sure we would.
Really?
Okay,
how?
So let me...
How?
Saying he made multiple plays at shortstop that most other shortstops they're getting to replace him were making. He had 4 or 5 RBIs. Like
that sounds like he had 4 or 5 RBIs.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. How did I miss his hits? Was I gone?
Yeah, you missed a bunch.
I missed when you guys talked. I missed. It was 3-0 them, and then I missed your 3 runs and their 3 runs. So it must maybe those 3 runs he had a couple.
Let me fill in the community just so people know what's going on. We had a draft league. As people know, it was very well promoted. 120 people signed up. The original intent, the rule was made for various reasons that during what we call the seeding games, anybody can play. They don't have to be part of the draft. Will remain to be seen next fall. Be'ezras Hashem will run it again. We'll see if this rule has changed. But the rule was that you could play anybody. Moshe Zin dropped out of the draft because he has a wedding in Chicago, allegedly. Now I'm starting to think this conspiracy might be even deeper. He has a wedding in Chicago on November 5th, 4th, 5th. He can't be at the champs. Drops out of tournament. Jonas and Lowenger, who has a sociopathic streak, according to some, says, ooh, I have an opportunity here. I'm going to have Zin play all my games because the rule was that anybody could sub. So Moshe Zin, who's arguably the best position player in the draft, or top 3 for sure, is now going to be a regular on Lowenger's team for the first 4 games. So all of the captains in retrospect said they don't think this should be allowed, but the rule had been this way from the beginning of the draft. And Lowinger also said he drafted specifically with intent that Zinn would be available, being, thoughtful and creative within the rules. So hence the controversy. I hope that did it justice.
I will say that come the tournament time, like even with Steve on the mound, without Zinn, that team doesn't scare me.
Well, what about if you have Kirsch there? Does that help a little bit or not?
No, it still doesn't scare me. Steve's amazing. Steve's one of the best pitchers.
The real question is going to be if Kirsch is not back for the playoffs, what's Lowinger going to do?
Right, and Kirsch isn't really a shortstop. Like he can play it, but that's not his.
Why don't they scare you, Tuvia? Can you give us a little more info on that?
I'm saying, like, as our team, my team, we didn't know like some of us knew each other, like me, Prager, Menachem, but for the most part, we didn't know. I guess we put 7 runs up on Steve. Could have put up a lot more if
Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy Tabak smacking the ball off of Steve Pollard.
We hit like the really the entire line. I think we had 2 guys who didn't get on the whole game, but the entire line, we were hitting Steve. It wasn't errors. It wasn't I did not pitch well. If I pitch better, it's not even a question.
Well, your team was throwing the ball around in the first inning. I saw.
Yeah, it happens. Like we're getting used to each other. Not our strength is definitely our outfield. Like I think between us and the Goldenberg Bromberg combo, now that I think those are the 2 strongest outfields there. So now we're just trying to figure out how our infield plays, and we're missing a couple of guys who I think are going to be playing in the infield. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, Menachem, Matt, and Prager in the outfield is a pretty freaking good outfield. Again, for context, I think it was a 10-3 game with 2 outs, and they came back and they knocked around Steve for 4 runs
in the 7th inning. 4 runs in the 7th.
Steve will probably say that he was just throwing the ball over at that point, but
we all know he wasn't.
Steve doesn't do that. 4 runs is 4 runs. It was capped by a Matt Rosenberg 2-run home run to make it from 10-5 to 10-7, and I think they got an out then to win.
Steve's going to have to bring down the ERA if he wants a chance at the tournament MVP.
I was going to say it didn't bode too well for his ERA. He's been asking for the stats. I think he wants to check out how many earned runs were granted to him by Joey Kelly.
They were all earned. They were all earned. There was no errors in that field.
Wait, was Mo Feintuch there?
No, Feintuch was not there.
So they were missing a key. They were missing a key piece.
Yes, they were missing a key piece.
They were missing 3 guys.
I don't disagree.
Did anybody get a look at Aaron Scheinbein?
He didn't hit. He hit terribly. He fielded well.
What position did he play?
Did he hit terribly? No. Yeah, he hit terribly. He from what I remember, it's either Scheinbein or Newman. I think it was Scheinbein. Didn't hit well. He fielded well though. I think he.
What position they put him in?
I had to have been third base because shortstop was in.
Okay, I mean, if a guy comports himself well on the left side.
By the way, Lowinger played a lot of outfield and did it well. Lowenger's always said, by the way, that during the daytime he's an extremely below-average outfielder, and at night he reads the ball a lot better. He's an above-average outfielder. He actually played a really good left field. He made a couple of nice catches there.
He's a great athlete. He's a great athlete.
Lowinger played really
well left field. He also had a couple of big hits. And again, another situation where Steve Pollen, I think, batted, was it 1 or 2?
Steve batted 4th.
Steve batted 4th? Yeah. So it's cool to
Lowinger,
see, you know.
It was Zinn, Lowinger, Steve.
By the way, I'm having that struggle on my team right now. We have a guy, Jay Cass. We have a steep fall off after the number 3 hitter. Casson is, I shouldn't say steep fall off. It's tricky. But like I was talking to my co-captain, Casson is an on-base machine. I said, I'd rather have an on-base machine in the four hole than a guy who hits a home run every 15 at-bats. That might work in a certain kind of game where your number 4 hitter hits 2 home runs in a certain type of league. It's not going to work in this type of league, I don't think, where there's a lot of pristine defense and strong pitching, especially if you're not.
Where there's no strong pitching, there's pristine defense. That's basically what you're looking at.
Yeah, that's right. So this guy, he did hit the ball. He hit the ball. The guy they put in the 4, they say he's an amazing hitter. I'm not going to mention his name. They say he's an amazing hitter. I asked what leagues he played in. They said BKS, which is a pretty young league, new league. I just don't think the talent.
There are actually 2 BKS leagues. There's the
BKS, so maybe I don't know which BKS.
No, you do. There's the SY league, which is where he plays, and then there's the BKS league with Mutcha and Mendy Schwartz started, where Mendy Worst played.
Why do they call them both BKS?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but Mendy Worst played in it. And I told the Mendy, I said, "Welcome back to HSL." He's like, "Yeah, I took a trip down to the minors for a little bit, and now."
Right. Okay. I mean, these HSL guys. So I posted in that chat what's the difference between A and B pitching because some of the guys on my league were in my team were asking. I think some of them haven't even seen B pitching. By the HSL standard.
Yeah.
Very high level.
Well,
But anyway,
if you consider Asaf Fliegelman a B pitcher, then yes, some of them have not seen B pitching.
Yeah. Tuvia, but we didn't get your thoughts on. I was giving a summary about the about what I call the Zinn rule. What are your thoughts on the Zinn rule?
Like, my thoughts personally are, it doesn't make sense to allow it. I mean, like, you're drafting 12 guys, you have an auction. The auction's built in to create a sense of fairness in terms of how you're doing a draft. Meaning, if you're going to spend the $90 to $100 on a Steve or a Yossi, you're then not getting the all-star shortstop or center fielder in the similar price range. You just can't build a team that way. So it sort of takes away from the whole point of having an auction league to begin with, when you're just allowing these subs to come in, which is fine. Like, in terms of the actual gameplay, like, I'm more than happy to play against him. Like, I'd rather play against guys who are at the top level and continue to prove myself by facing them.
So, Avi, to his point, what's the rationale? I know you and Avi Nenner had an idea for why it's good to have a wide pool for the seeding games.
The rationale was before the tournament, I think, was that we wanted to put the roster building capabilities in the hands of the captains for the regular season games for two reasons. A, because we didn't want to make it stressful for captains, as least stressful as possible, where they could just pick up whoever they want. And B, is we wanted to sort of build that camaraderie in which a captain is running his team. And if he's picking up a player, he has to deal with the consequences from his team. If he's going to go ahead and pick up a guy when he already has 10 guys, we want it to be that his teammates are coming to him and saying, hey, what are you doing? We have 10. We want it to be sort of an internal thing instead of external, where the league is directing captains and teams as to who they're allowed to pick up and not. The reason why I felt comfortable with this is because ultimately, although, yes, there is a play-in game and yes, seeds do matter, ultimately everyone makes the elimination game. So it's not as if we're forcing teams to not make the elimination rounds. So because it's not a crazy difference in terms of making elimination, we thought that it's best to be able to let captains run their own rosters. A, because we don't want to make it stressful for the captains, which is the whole concept behind why we did this. You get anybody for the regular season game in the first place. And then B, we want the team to feel like the captain to feel like he's running his organization. And if he's going to do something idiotic, like getting an 11th player when he already has 10 regulars, he'll have to deal with his teammates on that. And his teammates might get pissed at him and might say, hey, I'm not playing if you get an 11th guy. And the captain has to run his roster how he wants. And then maybe next year we might get complaints and he might not allow to be a captain anymore. But we thought that was the better approach than sort of having the league control what every single captain can and can't do. And by the way, once you get into who a captain could pick up, can't pick up, when they could pick up, it creates so much extra, everything. It creates, you have to line up, rate everybody, who could be a sub, who could not be a sub. It's going to be a lot of politics. One team's allowed to get this guy as a sub. The next team's going to want that guy. That's shut down from the league. He's going to be, it just creates a bunch of chaos.
Okay, what do you think about all this?
No, I understand. I understand why they went ahead with it. I just think it's a little disingenuous to go into a draft thinking that you're going to be picking up one of the best players and build your team around it, which I think it's going to come back to hurt him come the actual tournament time when he doesn't have that.
I agree, by the way, especially the first game.
Why is it going to hurt him? Why is it going to hurt him?
Because he doesn't have the field behind Steve.
Like, instead of getting someone else reps at shortstop, which, by the way, they did. Lowenger's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. To Tuvia's point, Lowenger, when he moved Zinn to the outfield for the last 3 innings of the game, and I asked him, what are you doing? He's like, well, I want to get Scheinbein reps at short in case Kirsch is not ready to go.
Scheinbein did play short. Did he get any?
Then he moves them back toward
after they went up. I think it was 8-3 or whatever in the fourth inning. He moves it to the outfield, fifth inning, and puts Scheinbein there for the last 3 innings.
Yeah. So how did Scheinbein do?
I don't know if he got too many plays.
And then came back in the seventh.
Right, then came back in the seventh. Right,
stole a couple plays.
That's Lowenger. Lowenger does these things. Right. He knows really well how to manage a roster. Ultimately, the reason why I push so hard to not do anything, the logic I think is, I happen to think it makes sense. I also hear how you could think it doesn't make sense. The reason ultimately why I was very, very passionate about not limiting things is because at the end of the day, whether it was the HSL leadership fault or whether it was just missed out or whatever, going into the draft, there were no limitations. The only rule was that
it sounds like there's a rationale that this is the right way to do it.
Yeah,
Not that it was overlooked.
I just wish it was spelled out. That's all. There's nothing spelled out. There's nothing spelled out. That's all.
So, have you any more comments on your game?
No, I really like my team. I think
you guys have good vibes, man. You guys have good vibes.
We have good vibes.
I like the vibes.
The everyone hit. Like the guys we had no clue anything about, they were squaring up Steve. They were hitting line drives off him.
Jeremy Tuvia, man, 2 bullets.
I really think as long I pitched like garbage. I'll be the first to admit it. I pitched like garbage that game. Haven't had, I think, the most strikeouts I've had in a game in a while.
What does that look like for you pitching like garbage? What does it mean?
I'm saying I walked three guys.
Location.
I had a lot of 3-ball counts.
Yeah,
it's very, very not how I usually go about it.
Usually pounds of strike zone.
And like my ball was literally, it was going all over the place. And like then look, a lot of their runs scored on like they had. I think there was one inning when they scored 3 runs. They literally had 4 bloops that fell in between first, second, and right field. Like it was a no man's land. Like it got lucky. Like everything that could hit a spot that game. Like I'm not concerned about the defense. Our hitting. The fact that these guys first time seeing Steve, and the real A-League pitching were getting solid at bats off him, I think gives us a lot to be happy. That's a lot to look forward to.
By the way, one more thing on that game. To see Steve Pollen like going at it with these. Steve Pollen's a veteran. He's been playing A-League ball forever. He's locked in. During softball, all bets are off. He's just Steve Pollen. He's aggressive. He's fiery. To see him being fiery with guys who just aren't used to that, like these guys are on his team are going to come out at the end of the season like a totally different player. Like totally
100%.
different. It's just so funny to see that sort of mix of this guy who's been playing high intensity softball for years, like 20, 30 years. And other guys who just, they play, B-League a little bit here, a little bit there. And now they're together with the guy who's just crazy. It's just really cool to see. And I think it could honestly develop players if done in the correct way. Like really, like besides for on the field talent, just as maturity, being able to handle pressure, handle the stress, playing in big games, I think it really, could really help. And by the way, there are 2 games we didn't have yet. 4 teams that still haven't played, including the Sheriff and Daniel Ash, 2 of the top pitchers in the draft. So
their first game is going to be the 29th?
Yeah, we got 4 games on the 29th and 1 game on the 30th.
Okay, cool. All right, I guess it's about time to wrap up. Now, Yosef Grossman, one of our MSL guys, said we should call it this podcast either Fall Ball Friday or the Fall Ball Blitz with Blisk.
By the way, can I just say something?
He doesn't even know this, right?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Credit to Yosef Grossman because not many of here know the Let's Go podcast name was born from Yosef Grossman. I did, we did like when we were first started doing giveaways, we tried making this geschmack. We had like 1 million entries, and we ultimately went with Grossman to Let's Go podcast. So credit to him. Glenn Zuckerman messaged me. I don't know if he wants me to say it, but he didn't say I shouldn't say it.
Just say it.
Anyway, he said, "Is it true that Tuvia had 3 or more Ks this week? If so, he should immediately retire, as it won't get any better than that."
I know, right? I struck out one guy 3 times. I think there's 5 hitters.
Glenn, the rule is if I get a message and it does not specifically say not to post that or say it, I will say it. It's
100. All I know is my last 2 games with Steve. So this last night and the last time we played them Sunday morning in the spring. I'm pretty sure me and Steve either had the same amount of Ks or I was like 1 off. So I'll take that.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
That's pretty good.
So much stuff going on.
So much stuff going on. All right, but that's it. No further comments. All right, hopefully we'll do this again. Glenn said the same thing to me. I think he meant for us to say it.
Yeah, if he said to both of us,
sure.
If he said it to both of us, that means he said that.
1,000%. Okay, this is fun. This is very fun. By the way, you felt there are a couple people out there who I've gotten messages from, and I think you got a message from, Dave, who are asking us. It's in 1 week. They're like, let's do this in the spring. I'm not saying we're going to, but there are people out there who just on 1 week are advocating it. Moshe Zinn told me it's fun. He's like, the vibes are different. He's like, I don't know what it is, but it's just different. He's right. Like, I couldn't pick up on either. He said a little maybe because you see a lot of raw talent in these tournaments. Maybe a lot of kids who like.
Yeah, a kid like White, like 17 years old, flying around the bases. Wow.
Right. So like.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of these young kids playing, and I don't know. I'm very excited. We'll see where it takes us, but it's good vibes.
But it's
all
also
around.
it's something different. Like we're all so used to all the guys who've played in these leagues for years. We're all facing the same guys week in week out for the last I don't know what 10, 15 years right at this point. Like you get a couple new guys every year.
You
But
see guys there 20 minutes early, like having catches. Like, you don't get that. Like there's one team, Dave. They're on the side of field 2 in the back there. You're like 8 guys, like 4 and 4 lined up, just having catches 15, 20 minutes, getting.
Yeah, I'm committing.
That hasn't happened in a night game in 10 years. It
10 years.
hasn't.
You were still in high school then.
I've been playing for 6 years. ever. Even the past summer, ever.
I'm committing to bringing a grill one time. I'm going to be there. My dream, Tuvia, was to have a home run derby on Memorial Day, and I was gonna grill in an undershirt, drinking beer. And I haven't been
going for it. You didn't call it an undershirt. You said you were grilling something else. What was it?
A wife beater. They called it a wife beater. I feel like an appropriate term for the podcast.
Bring the grill to the tournament.
I think I'm going to do it one night.
Or do it for the semi-champs.
Maybe the semi-champs. I think maybe we should have better food for the semi-champs.
Or champs.
Actually, what could be better than me grilling hot dogs on a $80 grill in the parking lot of North Woodmere Park?
Bring out Donnie Freed. He did a good job in the summer.
By the way, Donnie Freed owns Aaron's, Tuvia. What's his relationship with Aaron's?
No, he doesn't own it. I think a family.
I think
he's management there.
Oh, he's in management.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was like an owner or something. He always shows up with.
Yeah, because he's upper management there. So he's
upper management. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got access to the food.
All right, so Tuvia, we doing this again next Friday? Fall ball blitz with Bliss.
Sure, sounds good.
Well, there are no games this week, by the way.
Yeah, we have to wait till the game's back.
Maybe
we do it the following Friday.
Oh, so then why are you so desperate to get out power rankings for this, Avi?
I'm not. You're right. I realize
maybe next
that.
Week we'll do fall ball blitz.
Glenn, before we go, Glenn said Gottlieb won't be playing in the playoffs, so he's free to grill. All right, let's wrap it up on that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the first edition. We'll come up with a name. It's a go. I like these names, but our first edition of, for now, the Let's Go Fall Ball Twillery Tournament podcast. Coming at you most Fridays of the tournament. Thank you, Tuvia, and thank you, Dave. Any last words before we wrap it up?
Nope, we're good.
See you guys.